volts accuracy of 0.1%. And here's a common one you've seen, the traditional 4.5 digit meter at 20,000 counts. There's where that 0.05% figure comes from. Now, if you see a multimeter on the market and it's got a 6 on eBay or something, it's got a 6,000 count display and it's only got 0.8% accuracy or something like that, or 0.5, it's designed incorrectly and it's a heap of shit. It doesn't mean it's necessarily better than another one, and it doesn't mean it's worse than another one that's at 0.5% and only got 2,000 counts, but still, you know that the manufacturer just doesn't know what they're doing. So really, I could do almost all of my work with a basic 0.5% 2,000 count meter. Anything better is just a bonus, really. It's more important to get the other features right. Battery life, stability, the measurement confidence you get from it, the build quality and, the safety and stuff like that, and maybe some other features thrown in. So accuracy is not the be-all, end-all. The other thing you've got to watch out for with accuracy is the number of counts. I'll usually specify the accuracy plus an X number of counts. Now, I explain all about accuracy and counts in another video, so if you want an in-depth look at that, go watch that video. I'll put a link to it. But yeah, you've got to watch that. They might have a good accuracy figure, but a crap plus number of counts. Always with multimeters, the basic DC volts accuracy is going to be the best. And sometimes the millivolt range is better than the other ranges. That is the most accurate range on your multimeter. It's more accurate than resistance, current, capacitance, and all the other stuff. But a decent meter will at least get quite close to the basic DC volts accuracy on ohms. It's important to have a good ohms function as well, and accurate ohms function as well. So look for something where the ohms accuracy is pretty close to the DC volts one. Current is a different story though, because current actually uses a current shunt resistor there, and it's actually quite hard to get those reasonably accurate, especially on the very high current ranges like 10 amps. That's why you'll typically see a worse DC current accuracy figure on the 10 amp range than you will at the lower amps, the microamps, and possibly the milliamps as well. But microamps will usually be the most accurate. So once again, make sure you get a meter with reasonably accurate DC current as well. Because if it's like a percent, or if it's 1.5% or something like that, it's not very good at all. So go for something that at least try and gets as close as it can to the basic DC volts accuracy figure. One other big differentiator from a cheap meter to a good professional meter is that a professional meter will have what's called true RMS AC measurement. Now, a basic non-true RMS meter is called an average responding meter. And what it does, when it's measuring AC volts or AC current, the meter actually assumes and is tweaked and calibrated to assume that the input waveform is perfectly sinusoidal. It's a perfect sine wave. Now, if it is a perfect sine wave, what you're feeding into the meter, what you're measuring, is a perfect sine wave, it'll be quite accurate. In fact, it can actually be more accurate than a true RMS meter. But probably the majority of waveforms in electronics are not perfectly sinusoidal. So if you try and measure those with an average responding meter, it'll actually can be grossly inaccurate. Tens of percent, 50%, grossly inaccurate. So that's why, really, if you want a good meter for electronics use, you should make sure it's got true RMS measurement. And then what it actually does is it's actually measuring the true power in that signal, i.e. the same heating effect, the same resistor heating effect if you applied that voltage to a resistor. I won't go into how true RMS works and stuff like that, but trust me, it's a really good feature to pay for. Now, unfortunately, to get really accurate true RMS measurement, you really pay through the nose for that. So don't be surprised if your meter's true. Don't be too worried if your meter's true RMS and it's only 1% accuracy or something. That's fine, really. Don't worry about it. And the other thing to look for is the AC bandwidth. As well, the bandwidth of the meter. Now, that can be important depending on what you're working with. If you're working a lot with audio signals from 20 Hz to 20 kHz, you want your meter to extend at least to 20 kHz or beyond. Like a really top-notch meter will have an AC bandwidth of, say, 100 kHz, a real professional one. Whereas a real cheap, you'll only have, 1 kHz, 500 Hz accuracy. And they'll give you different accuracy figures depending on the range. Like the best accuracy might only be between, 50 Hz and 500 Hz, and then it'll have a worse accuracy figure going up to 2 kHz and so on. But yeah, AC bandwidth can be important depending on what you're working on. But if you know that, then you're going to know what to look for. So really, don't worry too much about the bandwidth for just a general purpose, everyday use instrument. So how many counts should you look for when you find a multimeter? Well, as always, the more the better, but not at the expense of accuracy. Because if you get that 6,000 count meter and it's only got 0.5% accuracy, well, it's really, it's got more resolution, which allows you to see changes, but your figure's not actually going to be accurate. But more digits, even if it's inaccurate, can help. More resolution can be good for some applications when you want to see just a relative change in something. But, it's really, just really go for a 4,000 count one. A 2,000 count with 3.5 digits, a bit old-fashioned. It's sort of, 20, 30-year-old sort of, figure. So, a good meter will have, a base meter will have 4,000 count or 6,000 count. 10,000 count is really handy. And once again, I show the effect of the number of counts and how it can affect your measurements in another video, so look at that one. Another thing that's really important is the display updating speed. Now, a good meter like this Fluke will have, say, 4 times updating per second, quite quick. Now, a poor one will have, a real average one will have, 2 updates per second or something like that. But a really, top-notch one like this Agile, it might have 8 or sometimes even 15 updates per second, and that's absolutely brilliant. But, look for, 4 is not a bad figure, 3 to 4 updates per second. Another important thing to look for is the auto ranging speed. Now, there's nothing more annoying than a meter that has a really painfully slow auto ranger. It's just really annoying. It's going to bug you. So trust me, a quick way to test it when you're in the shop is to get the meter and put it on ohms and short it out. And if it takes more than about a second to cycle through all those ranges to get down to 0 ohms, then you know it's pretty slow. So, but that depends on what the upper range of the ohms is. But generally, it's much more than a second. I reckon give it the flick. And another feature is a low-pass filter. You can see this Fluke 87 actually has a little low-pass filter symbol on it. Now, that can be real handy if you're working on motor drives and noisy signals and stuff like that. It filters out a lot of the high-frequency crap. But really, if you're working on that sort of gear, then you're probably going to know it, and you're going to have a meter with that function. But for an average electronics use, it's not a huge deal. So don't worry about it. The other thing with the meter is the ruggedness of it. How rugged is it? Because odds are you're eventually going to drop the thing off your bench or off a ladder or something else. And, it really should survive. Now, Fluke pioneered rugged meters with their yellow rubber holster in the 70 series here. And really, everyone else has copied it. Now, you should get a meter with a decent, thick rubber holster. And you'll note one little tip is, if it has these little ridges down the bottom like that, they actually help absorb the shock when it lands on its end like that. So, make sure your meter has a good rubber holster. But really, putting a $5 meter in a rubber holster isn't really going to protect it all that much. So really, you do need a decent quality meter with decent quality construction if you expect it to survive drops onto concrete. One thing to look out for if you're doing lots of current measurement is the burden voltage. Now, I won't go into what burden voltage is. I've done whole videos on it. I've done a product to get around it. So basically, a good meter, make sure it has a burden voltage of 1 millivolt per milliamp, or 0.1 millivolts per microamp. Quite a lot of people ask me, are bench multimeters worth it? Are they good? Well, no, I think they're really annoying, and generally, unless you have a very, very specific need for it, get a handheld multimeter. You can put it anywhere on your bench, you can swap it between benches easily, it runs off batteries, you don't need the mains outlet. There's just miles of advantages to a handheld meter, so don't bother with a bench multimeter. They're a bit of a gimmick. Now, it does take a really professional design eye to spot a good meter from a bad one, but some things are really damn obvious. Now, these are 3 cheap meters. This is a 4.5-digit real one-hung low-brand cheapie. This is a $20 cheapie, and this is a $5 cheapie, and this is a $20 cheapie. As you can all see, they all use through-hole components. All these standard axial resistors just bent over like that. A crap quality trim pot there. This one has little tiny trim pots on the back. A good meter shouldn't have trim pots these days, really. But, you can still get decent quality ones with trim pots. Another thing, look at the current shunts. Really crap quality, just a bent bit of copper wire. Even your good ones are just a bent bit of wire, but at least they're going to be nice, big and shiny, which I'll show you. That's the 10 amp current shunt. Now, a dead giveaway for a meter is these small crap quality fuses. These little glass ones, they're hopeless. And as you see, the 10 amp isn't fused at all. That's a reason not to touch that meter. As I said, you should look for one of these high rupture capacity HRC fuses. If your meter has that, then you know it's well designed and it's safe. There's another dead giveaway for checking because I've said these input jacks really crap quality. Look, they're just a bit of stamped metal. They don't fit in the plastic surrounds properly, and they just lift out like that. Really garbage quality contacts. Now, the other thing you won't find in these really El Cheapo meters is input protection. You won't see any input protection devices at all. But I'll show you a good meter which has these input protection devices. Here's the top of the 4.5-digit cheapie, and the current shunt and the crap quality fuse there. It's just really garbage, amateur hour. Now, here's the inside of a good quality German-made Gossen Metrowatt meter. You can see the input jacks are solid, and they're embedded in the plastic. They've got little rubber things around here, and they're wired separately over to the board. The board uses HRC fuses. It uses, it's hard to tell good quality gold from crap quality, but it uses good quality gold plating on the board. All the components are all surface mount, except for a couple of key components which need to be through hole here, really. They're all surface mount and input protection devices. Look, these blue things, you can see them, right? 3, 4, there's a gas discharge tube, and just really, another couple down here, just really good quality construction. Now, here's the inside of the Fluke 28 Series 2, what I consider one of the best inputs, design input sections on any meter. As you can see, 2 HRC fuses, these nice high voltage isolation slots all the way around here with matching blast shields in the case that get inserted. When you put it together, they get inserted into there. And that is just a brilliantly designed front end. You know the things, when it overloads, it's not going to explode on you. Now, another thing you need to look for in a good meter is a good thick film precision resistor network. This resistor network here, they're almost always, they look very similar to this. Now, that will determine pretty much the accuracy and stability of your meter. One of the other things with these cheaply designed meters is you see they're all crowded. There's no high voltage isolation slots between any of the jacks. Look at how close all the input tracks are, the components are, to these fuses. Look at the closeness of these resistors to these fuses. It's just nuts. There's no way, and these they're the actual terminals for the capacitance meter, how close they are to the diodes and the current shunt and everything else. There's no way this thing is going to handle a high power, high surge, high voltage overload. The thing's just going to explode in your hand. It's terrible. There are quite a lot of manufacturers out there who make good quality meters. Fluke aren't the only ones. There's the old Gossen Metro one in Germany. They aren't the only big ones. There's X-Tech, or a big Amprobe, which are the cheap arm of Fluke. They're actually owned by Fluke. X-Tech, ProTech, Ideal, BK Precision. There's quite a whole bunch of them. Metex. If you look around, there's the Japanese ones. There's Yakugawa and Hyoki, I think. There's a whole lot. But as always, you get what you pay for. So don't buy those eBay cheapies. Buy, $50 or $100 can get you a good quality meter. So I hope that's helped. All this information, there's a lot of it, has helped you determine what is a good quality meter and which ones are just crap. See you next time.
pass on your orders to the troopers. Report back to base on the west side of the island. Mission complete.
The chief finally let us loose. We were right behind you and cut through them like a hot knife through butter. They sent us in to pick up the pieces. We've already searched the bodies and delivered the enemy munitions to the quartermaster. Don't worry about the bodies. We'll handle it.
Gunther slipped out on his own. Report back to base. Someone should have put a slug in the commander's head. Way to go, sir.
We've got the island secure.
Good shooting, sir. Heard you wiped out the whole pack. Welcome to United.
Check in with Manderley on level 2.
Come on in. The retinal scanner can read blood vessel patterns right through your sunglasses.
Before the briefing, you've got to go to level 3 for your equipment and a medical examination. See Jaime Ray is in the med center and Sam Carter in the armory. Your partner for the next assignment, Anna Navarra, is in the adjoining break room to the east. Maybe you should introduce yourself.
We finally got to cap some rebels, eh, Denton? That was a close one up there.
Hey, Jay.
What?
Yeah?
Have you...
You're getting warm. You're ready.
At easy. I said. Can you spare a nav?
Way to go, sir. Gunther should have followed orders.
You found your office. Did Janice give you your login? I guess not. Let's see. JCD, password, Bionic Man.
JC. Mind if I call you JC?
That will be the.
Wish I was going with you.
Deactivated. Deactivated. Trainer cheat activated.
Good luck, Agent.
The boat's ready. Let's head out.
All right, let's go. The terrorists are in a fighting retreat. A few have barricaded themselves inside Castle Clinton.
Lead the way.
Our orders are to locate a barrel of ambrosia they are hiding inside. I will give you a schematic of the barrel, but first we will exterminate the NSF terrorists.
Exterminate?
A precious opportunity we cannot neglect.
What about the rest of the shipment?
That is your brother's assignment. You will take the subway to meet him in Hell's Kitchen. But first, we should deal with Castle Clinton.
Are we going in the front, or is there another way?
A secondary entrance would be useful, but I am aware of no such thing.
find them on the map, though.
Guess this beats starving back home. Like Billy the Kid. I know I heard something. Wait, quiet. Guess we're safe. I know I heard something. I know I heard something. Nothing. I guess we're safe. That's it. He's a cop.
Objective complete. Agent Navarre will describe your next assignment and stay behind to protect the Ambrosia. Look for her out front. inside the kiosk of Castle Clinton. The bulk of the NSF troops must have gone through here to get underground.
They found us. Keep looking. Something funny about that guy.
You were too gentle with the NSF, but I cannot complain. You completed the objective. At least you are not a coward like Paul.
I'm learning it.
Hell of a long shift.
Oh, it's over.
got hostages in the subway station.
Our country is indeed sweet.
The NSF terrorists in the subway have threatened to blow up the platform. Watch for booby traps.
Is someone there?
Keep looking. Something funny about that guy. we're safe.
Sir.
I don't believe what I just saw. Those were innocents. You can't go in and just shoot everywhere. Take the subway to Hell's Kitchen and go talk to your brother.
JC, we have to talk. Yeah, and
We're getting reports of a hostage situation in a Ton Hotel, which is at the southeast corner of the block. When you stayed with Paul, did you meet Mr. Renton and his daughter Sandra? We think at least one of them is still inside.
Talk to one of the guys in green. Unetto's running the show today.
Buy ambrosia from a drug dealer?
We're talking.
mind if I ask you if you... Hey,
What do you have for me?
I don't have...
You would never forgive yourself if...
I know.
It's to be expected. Ambrosia is a controlled substance. Most people...
What do you have for me?
You can have this beer.
That one's warm.
What can I get you?
You work here, you must know the... Sounds like... Sure. Beer, please.
What do you have for me?
You can have this beer.
That'll do. His name...
Joe Green, Midnight Sun.
Hey, you with the troops? I need help.
What's the problem?
Actually, it's my friend. Johnny took her into the alley west of here, across the street.
Slow.
What I'm telling you, girl.
You said I didn't have to. Make Janie do it.
I already took the money. And when it's JoJo and it's something he wants, you got...
You want something? Talk to Johnny.
What you want?
How much to take the lady off your hands for an hour?
200 up front and I'll hook you up.
Forget it.
We ain't talking about some rock.
I'm not interested.
What you want?
You've got 10 seconds to beat it before I add you to the list of NSF casualties.
Easy, bro. Girl's got a head full of... She's scared.
Sucks to get backed into a corner.
I was trying to find the back way into smugglers.
Right. The weapons dealer.
Hey, you shouldn't have took down Johnny. Soon as Joe, you think...
Tell you... You know Smuggler? What's your business here, eh? You better get out of here, Mr. Renton. Terror.
Can't leave the...
I swear I heard something.
know you said no phone messages, but South Street's going up in smoke. We'll have to meet at the subway station.
You all right, Mr. Wren? Yeah.
I should probably go find her. Oh, I don't know.
Deactivated.